Yo, what's up, my people? Hey, yo, before I even get started, I want to see nothing but Chef's hat. Chef's hat in the chat, man. All y'all put Chef's hat. If you ain't putting Chef's hat, I might be kicking people today, man. I'm on I'm on BS today, straight off the rip. Listen, man. Welcome to the Bliss Pickup. As you can see, my boy Shake Money. I see my boy Chris Grier been cooking. Shout out to you, Kimi. I see you. Listen, we gonna give our final grades. Talk about Grier, what we think about the draft. If y'all was here, man, shout out to everyone that pulled up all 3 days. Y'all know we put in work. Before I get into this, let me bring up my co-host real quick though. Oh, Kevin, I'm about listen, Kevin. I'm telling you. Lou, what's good, Lou?
Tone, what's good, dog?
Hey, we about to kick Kelvin. He probably be the first one getting up out of here. You put the wrong cap in there, Kelvin. I need Chef's hat. Chef's cap, that's it, bro. Anything else, man? Nah. Hey, Shay put ketchup packets. How you feeling, Lou, man? Long drive, man. We put in, 4 days in a row? And right back at it?
Yeah, man. Listen, first time for the Bliss pickup to be on the air for the
Yeah.
draft, so kind of new at it, but yeah, we definitely put in that work, man. Credit to you. Um, you came up with the idea of let's go on live the first 3 days and doing it. So yeah, I think it overall went well. Everybody, things that I've heard from people around, they enjoyed it, man. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and shout out to the chat, man. Y'all the reason, man, that we actually went on that third day because we put the poll in and y'all said y'all want us to pull up and we pulled up and hey, to y'all credit, y'all was rocking with us the whole time. Even when I was trying to leave after the what round was it? Fifth round, Blue? Was it? Yeah, after the fifth round, we
Yeah,
had
after
done
our fifth round. Yeah.
we traded when we traded and went to the sixth. I'm like, listen, man, I don't know if I'm gonna wait, but even Luke said, and then the chat was like, man, just stick around. Let's see what that 6th round pick was, and hey, we held it down the whole time. So shout out to y'all. But listen, man, without further ado, Lou, we already know we came here to talk about, man. Talk to me about Chris Grier, what you think about the draft overall, and how you think Chris Grier did.
Well, Tone. I just want to, I I want to salute my general manager. My general manager and being Christopher Aloysius Grier the third. Because what we heard a couple weeks ago, Tone, was a bunch of people in this fan base crying and complaining about Chris Grier going in front of the microphone, in front of the podium. And I know one good channel on YouTube, right? Kind of small, but it's a young up and coming channel, went live and told everybody, gave the people our thoughts of that supposed press conference. And remember what we said, Tone? That revolver don't never jam up, dog. That revolver goes bang, bang.
And
And
don't
what
leave
we
no
see,
shells behind.
don't leave no shells behind. You know what I'm saying? And the fact of the matter is, when Chris Grier said he was tired of deferring, he had to put more of an assertiveness. He had to put his foot down. I don't care what no one says about the draft. I'll give you my opinion. Tony's going to give you his, and we're going to keep it pushing. Everybody can feel how they want to feel. It just felt different of how the draft went. It looked like there was a purpose. The guys that
Hmm.
he drafted, the people he was looking for, even the mindset. And I heard a couple of people debate, bring it up in the Twitter space. So shout out to them because I had the same. Even when we traded up, it felt like a good move. When we traded back, it felt like a good move. Everything, the way the draft went, the way, it was mapped out. It just felt right, bro. Nothing felt wrong. It didn't feel like a reach. Now, you can argue 6th and 7th round picks here and there. Cool. Usually those are guys fighting for roster spots and usually don't even make the team. But Tone, from top to bottom, bro, and then look at some of the UDFAs. You bring in a receiver 6'4", runs a 4.3, who led the SEC in yardage.
From
As a
Arkansas, right?
UDF Armstrong,
From Arkansas,
right?
yeah. Hmm.
Tone, look at what you just brought in as a UDFA, bro. To me, Tone, again, quick synopsis. It was a home run draft, not only for the Miami Dolphins, but for Christopher Aloysius Grier, man. People, you're never going to get happy. One person will never make everybody happy. But from my overall standpoint, no, I thought Chris Grier and the Miami Dolphins had a hell of a draft, and I think Chris Grier specifically, Tone, hit it out of the park.
Yeah,
Home run.
and everyone is entitled to their own opinion, right? What I would say is, depending on your mindset going into this draft, I think that's what's going to dictate how you feel this draft went. Our mindset, we understood what his team was. We weren't expecting a winning season. We weren't expecting the team to go out and compete for playoff victories and championships. So we looked at it from a different standpoint to the people that still felt like this team was competing to win. So what I want to say is, you point out one key factor, right? He went out and everyone was asking, why did he have that press conference? Now, forget about the fact that he had one every year around the same time. That one was already planned out. Let's think about this. The thing that he said was he was tired of deferring. Cool. What did I say when we came on the show? Well, I'm gonna hold you to that. Now these job picks, I don't care who encouraged you, who had any input on these. It's your final word. You're going to be judged and critiqued about whatever you do. So at this point, I'm get you. He wanted all the credit. I'm gonna give him all the credit. If he wanted all the criticism, I'm gonna give him all the criticism. This one for me, like I say, you said knock out the park. I think this was a damn good draft, based on what I expected, based on what I saw him grab, and the type of player that he grabbed. I'm like, now that's what I'm talking about. What type of player? What I mean by that? Attitude. You remember the pre-draft show, what I did on Wednesday? I'm like, the way I want him to attack this draft is attitude. Talent is okay, but attitude, dog mentality. These are the type of people that I want him to grab in this draft. And those are the type of players that it seemed like he was targeting. So I'm good with it. I have no problem with how he drafted. I mean, can he have did something different that I would prefer? Yes, like I'm already on the record saying that I would prefer him drop down, grab a guard or a tackle first, because the D tackle, the pool of talent in the D tackles were so much more, and it was, you have more D tackles and depth in this draft than you have offensive guards and tackles combined. So I was like, that's one thing that I would have wanted him to do better. But listen, it takes two to tango. If he couldn't find a trade partner, we cannot put that on Christopher Grier. And I know a lot of people out there saying, oh, I don't believe that. Well, he traded multiple times, didn't he? Got some great value. Now, based on the value that he got from the ones that he did trade, I understand probably why he didn't have a dance partner. Because he probably was trying to fleece. Look what he got for a for a fourth rounder. So, okay, cool. So now I'm just going to judge him based on what he was able to do and what he was capable of. Cool. Listen, I'm all good for it. I like, number one, even though I would have preferred, but before going in, who I said, Kenneth Grant. That's who I want. He got Kenneth Grant. We got a guard. And followed that up with another D tackle, Jordan Phillips. 3 trench guys, first 3 picks. First time in Chris Grier drafting history. Trenches. I know you don't like it, Lou, but he addressed them trenches and what I wanted us to do. Build for the future. Understand we do not have the team, at least on paper, to compete. But that don't mean you start building this team to compete. I don't need everyone to start off on step 1 at the same time. You don't want a team for the rookies or, non-experienced players. No, you want to start building right now, especially when you put your name on it. Like, I just stamped that. These are my picks. This is my draft. There's no more deferring. So go ahead, put your mark. Let me see what you got. And I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I would say that. Now, as far as it was Grant, the offensive, and Jordan Phillips. As far as the fifth round, the 2 fifth rounders, he got what, the cornerback, and I think it was a safety, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was. I got it written down. I want to go to get to my notes yet. But what are y'all expecting out of there? When we came in, we said there's a lot of safeties, cornerback, secondary. That's secondary that you could get in the free agency, right? What's the first two rumors out there who we reaching out to? Secondary. The cornerback from out of Cleveland, and now the cornerback from out of Philadelphia. So we said this going into the draft. I'm not, if he don't go get two safeties or cornerbacks, he don't address, I understand we could address that in free agency. But the trenches was a must. And I think he knocked that out of the park. Trenches was a must. Now, go ahead, Lisa.
No, I was going to say, Tone, we both said coming out of this draft, your first two picks, you need day one starters.
That is a fact.
That's what you got in the first. Kenny Grant's going to start. Jonas Avenea is going to start.
Yes.
That right there alone, right, is an improvement. Because when we took a second round pick last year in Patrick Paul, did he start?
No, sir. The
How
year
about
before.
Cam Smith, did he start?
No, sir.
So now, of what you see, just for the people that say, "Oh, it's felt the same. It was the same old, same old." No, just off those two picks alone, your first two picks of the draft are going to be day one starters. Your third round pick, to your point, Jordan Phillips, he's going to contribute.
A rotational friend. He's going to contribute.
He's going to contribute year one, your third round pick or your fourth round pick, your third pick overall, is going to contribute in year one. Like, I don't understand where people, even Ollie Gordon, to get him, I believe that was the fifth round.
Listen.
Ollie Gordon, you don't think he's going to, now, is he going to start? Probably not. He not going to play every game? Yeah, probably not. But do you think Ollie Gordon is going to contribute in some way, shape, or form this season? Yes. Absolutely. And you got that kid in the fifth round. So, like, what are we talking about here? You look at some of the value.
We got him in the sixth, Blue.
Or in the sixth round.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, what are we talking about here? It was
Lou,
a home run draft, bro.
Let me break this down. Because, see, I'm glad you said that. You started bringing down the names, right? Let me give you three of my favorite quotes, right? Jordan Phillips. Remember the phone call?
Can you give me the playbook right now?
Coach, can you send me that playbook right now? So now, let's talk to these GM, front office, head coach, set the culture people. Did our coach ask him to do that? Was he coached on wanting to get right to work? I'm trying to figure out what kind of individual that is and what part did his coach have to do with that. That was his first conversation with Chris Grier. That was his first conversation with Mike McDaniel. He was ready to go to work.
Tone, real quick, I know you're about to cut. Let me just expand on what you just said a little bit, just on that. For a kid to be on the phone, gets a phone call from an NFL organization and tells him, you are getting picked, we are about to make you a Miami Dolphin. You're in a living room with your family and friends, celebrating, and the first thing you think about is getting that playbook. It's not about hugging and kissing. It's not about singing and dancing and worried about what club you're going to tonight. It was, let me get in that playbook. That's what it's about, Tony.
You know, the thing that we say you can't coach. While everyone was, nitpicking. Oh, we got him too soon. Oh, we could have got someone else earlier. We didn't have to trade. No. Look at the characters of these players. Look at the mentality. If y'all wonder why I'm so happy, from day one I said, I want them to get people with dog mentality. The talent to come around. But I need that dog mentality off real because you can't coach that. Thank you, dog. Mindset. Now, Jonah, right? They was asking him about because he played tackle. And was he willing to move to guard? Because everyone assumed that's what we're going to use him at that. He said that's what he preferred. Lou, you know why he said that's why he preferred? I'll give you a small guess. Why did he prefer to move inside? You want to know what he said? Because I want to put my hands on people. I want to physically move people. And on the inside, I don't have to worry about spacing. All I got to do is worry about putting my hands on people. So somebody tell me the culture building of the coaches and the GM who said that's who set the culture. What part of coaching was that? Please tell me what the Christopher Grier and Mike McDaniel had to do with him saying, I want to put my hands on people. That's why I prefer to move on the inside. He said I played 3 positions, and I prefer to play guard so I can put my hands on people. Isn't that why I said Grace Abel and Tyler Booker was my 2 favorite O-linemen to watch film on? Because they look like they enjoy putting their hands on people. That's what you call dog mentality. So, again, knock that out of the park for the type of mentality that I'm looking for over here. And I'm quite sure Lewis was looking for over here. Now, my last one might be my favoriteest one, right? He had a bunch of them.
Ollie Gordon
Jr. Now, I know everybody going to talk about him saying it's him versus me, and I'm taking me every time. I know people are talking about I'm trying to run through you because I can't run around you. I know that's what they're talking about. But we talk about mentality here. And they asked him how he feel being drafted, knowing that A-10 and they just brought in the other running back. You know what he said? When they asked him, this is an interview before he got drafted. And he gave them a reason why they should draft him. He said, Coach, I don't mind playing special teams. I don't mind holding the ball. I just want to help my team. That's mindset. So, again, for all the culture setters, what did Mike McDaniel or Christopher Grier have to do with that mindset? Now, we already pointed out the fact that he said, I'm running through people. We already pointed out the fact that he said, it's me or him, and I'm taking me every time. What about my favorite quote, even bigger than he want to play special teams, whatever it takes to get on the team, because he's a team player. Did y'all know what he said about his pass blocking when they brought it up? I don't know if y'all heard what he said.
He said basically he's trying to look to take someone's head off. That's what he said.
And what he finished it with, I'm trying to make sure this your last time blessing.
That's a fact. That's what I mean. But that right there, that's what I'm saying. He's trying to take someone's head off.
I'm going to make sure this is your last time blessing. They said, why did, after your first season, like, first couple of season, you was doing a top block more often. Towards the second and last season, you were just hitting people. He said, I put on a few pounds. And I looked at him and said, oh, yeah, now I could go toe-to-toe with the 240 and 250-pound linebackers. Now I want to make sure this is your last time blitzing. Because once I hit you, you're not going to want to come back over here no more. You're not going to want to come near my quarterback anymore. You're not going to want to blitz in any hole from any capacity anymore. Is that mindset, Lou?
Absolutely.
Is that a mentality? Who coached him to do that?
Nobody. And now right there, Tone, he wasn't coached to do that. He wasn't. It was. You didn't have to pat him on his butt to get him to do that. You didn't have to encourage him to do that. You didn't have to praise him to do that. You didn't have to build him up to do that. That's in him. That's in a person. Again, with the lineman or the D tackle, Phillips. When you ask for the playbook, Doc said it best. It's a mindset, bro. I know over here, me and Tony have been talking about mindset for the last year and a half. It's mindset. It's forget about these skilled players. Forget about all the. It's if you got it or not, bro. And that's what this team hasn't had. A bunch of guys that got it. You can teach fundamentals. You can teach technique. You can't teach that want, that dog, that attitude, that mentality. You can't teach that. You either got it or you don't. Again, Tony tells a story. I tell the same story. The reason I'm on the Blitz pickup with Tony, because I know he's like that. I know
Facts.
Tony has that mindset. If we're gonna get into a heated debate, cool. Tony's with it. If we got to get this channel up from the ground up, from the mud, Tony's with that.
Facts.
It's that mindset. Not, oh, well, do we need to do this? And how about this? And work with, no. No, bro, we're going to get, from the mud, we're going to get it. And it just feels like, Tone, not to cut you off, but it just seems like in this year's draft, you got a bunch of guys that have it. I don't know how to explain what that it is. But again, from your quotes and what we're talking about, it's that mentality, bro. Right? Now, we can try to coach and teach up everything else, but you got to have it for yourself. And it just feels like these players got it.
And I want to add this part onto it, right? You remember? Well, first of all, so I was listening to I forgot who it was. I like to give people credit. And they specifically pointed out, Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel press conference, they said Jordan Phillips was Anthony Weaver. That Anthony Weaver wanted Jordan Phillips. The hard-nosed tough guy that they said every time they call they stopped asking what he was because they know he was in a weight room working out because he was all business. So when they called to ask for him, they knew he was already working out. They were just relaying messages, right? That was a Anthony Weaver pick. Now, Kenneth Grant, Jordan Phillips, those are more run stop D tackles. When you say more better at one technique, they can play the three, but more one technique guys, right? One tech guy. Let me remind y'all. I remind y'all the last show. I'm gonna remind you again, right?
This is goddamn Cap, by the way. This is Cap. No, he says, wait, Lewis. I thought you teamed up with Tony for the high quality sliders and glizzies at the tailgate. Wagyu, baby. Hell no. Well, I definitely. I did sign up for the ketchup packets and the mustard, but not the sliders and glizzies, man. I can live without that.
Stop the cap.
Get out of here, boy. Hey, listen. Shout out. But listen, that was Anthony Weaver's pick, right? And then Kenny Grant, like I was saying, one tech. How about this? Do y'all remember Anthony Weaver? I got to keep reminding y'all what he said. He said one thing they're not going to do is run the ball on us. Because that's attitude. That's mindset. That's toughness. Now look at the type of players he vouching for. Mindset, toughness, attitude. One thing about it is you want to break down the team and demoralize them, run down their throat. Run the ball at them and make them stop. Until they stop it. Guarantee you that's the way to win the game, take your team out, discourage them. They don't want to play anymore when you break them down. That's why you see them big bruising back. They get better with time. The longer the game go, because the other team is folding. Go ahead, Lou.
Listen, it hasn't happened in a while, but run down their throats was it. Hey man, sometimes I want to let you cook. I want to let you live because you on a roll and you doing such a good job, but run it down their throats is wow. I'm not gonna. Hey man, go ahead, do your thing, Tony. My bad.
Oh man. Hey Tony Lewis. Oh, for a fact. Hey Tony Lewis, my baby girl Araya says hi and want to see this comment. Hi Araya. See, we're gonna keep
girl,
that.
Baby girl, what's good?
Really take that down. Keep that up there.
My fault. That's my niece right there. So shout out to my baby girl, my niece. Salute. Appreciate you watching.
That's a fact. So listen, that's like those defensive players. Not even those players in the mindset. When I start listening to the quotes and reading them, I'm like, now that's what I'm talking about. I like the way you do business, quote right there. Like 46 people on here, 27. Yeah, y'all hit the like button. 46 of y'all in here, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with the fellas. Listen, if y'all ain't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Get the boys to 500. We can still doing that giveaway, jersey and the draft hat. So, matter of fact, let me go order that first because y'all gonna take too long. But anyways, he said, Game Boy said the same thing. He was cooking. I didn't want to say nothing, but hey, yo. But listen, back to the draft, right? So Lou, this is what I wanted to point out. I want to break this down. What did I write it at? Because I want to make sure I get this clear and concise for people that want to. Here we are. I came prepared today, y'all. So we was in spaces, and a lot of people was having, I guess pushback with the draft. I mean the trades that we did in the draft. Okay, cool. Let's break the trades down, right? Because I'm thinking, people thinking we giving up a lot of capital, or we gave up a lot of capital. Let me point this out. We went into the draft with 10 picks, right? 10. We took 8 players. So you down 2, right? We gained 1 for next year. So there goes your 1 that you lost.
A top 100 player, by the way.
Right? Cool. Keep that in mind while I break this down. The first trade was to trade up, trade up into the second. We had the 48 pick. We traded with, I think it was the Raiders, right? To get pick number 37. Was it the Raiders? I believe so. I'm not sure. But anyways, we traded up to get pick number 37. Now, we gained 37 and 143. So a second and a fifth. We gave them 48, so we swapped 37 for 48. We gave them 98, so that's a third rounder. We gave them away. Cool. And we gave them 135, which is we swapped from 135, we went down to 143. Eight picks. 8 picks. So essentially, you gained 11 on our pick, right? You lost 8 with the fifth and gave them a fourth, and you basically essentially gave up a third rounder. That's all I'm saying. If you break that down, they gave up a third rounder to move up in the second round to get that guy. Now, a lot of people saying that, I don't know if y'all like, I love the Jonah pick, right? I love that pick. Attitude, guard. Y'all didn't want them starting, did y'all? I know y'all didn't want them starting. Y'all want them to address the trenches. Now, how many times, Lou, before you say something, right? They said, pick your guy, go up and get your guy.
1,000%.
That's what everyone was complaining about. When we ever see, go get your guy. Marino say, pick a guy, let it fly. That applies here as well. When you identify your guy, go get him. Now, the rumors came out, whether y'all want to admit it or not, that the Patriots was thinking about taking him at 38. This is what the rumors came out from the Boston beat writer, whoever the dude name is. I forgot what his name was, right?
Yep.
So they jumped up to 37 and went and got their guy and gave up minimum. When we did the number breakdown on our show, right, we was live with it, we lost 2 points total with that draft. That was a 2-point. So I'm sorry. Now, to everyone that wanted to address the trenches, y'all should have been he should have had a standing ovation. Because not only did he move up to get his guy, it was a trench guy. So, sorry. I was glad with that. What you think about that one right before I move to the next one, Lou?
No, I didn't have a problem with that at all, bro. They identified, to your point, they identified the guy they wanted. They probably had some intel, to your point, that the Patriots were getting ready to take him at 38, and they said no. And remember, Tone, last year, what was it? Last year or 2 years ago, when it just seemed like the Dolphins were one step, like, was it when Detroit was taking all our players that we wanted?
Yes.
Was that
Detroit and Pittsburgh got targeted?
Remember, yeah. So Pittsburgh last year, I think Detroit 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, listen, you know how the league goes. These general managers, these teams, there's leaks all over the place. They kind of have an indication of where players might be going. So, yeah, bro, I had no problem. If you identify Jonah Salvanea as your guard, right, the guy that you identified that you wanted, and then you found out that New England was getting ready to pick him, yeah, bro, I have no problem moving down or moving up 11 spots to go get a guy. Absolutely. I have no problem with it whatsoever. If that's the guy, obviously that's the guy they wanted. Again, you identify a guy, it's the same thing. What did Marino used to say? pick a guy, let it fly.
Let it fly.
Well, in this scenario, identify a guy, let it fly, right? And Jonah was their guy they identified in the second round with the 37th pick overall. So,
yes. So now let's move to the next one. Now, if I don't think he cooked on this one, I can't help you. I really can't. So now the second one, we traded our fourth, right? We traded with the Texans. We gave them pick 16, right? I mean, pick 116. That was the fourth rounder. And we gave them pick 224. That's a seventh rounder. In return, we got pick 179. So that's a sixth rounder. So I guess the sixth rounder cuts out that seventh rounder that we got, right? And then we got a next year's third.
top 100 player.
So you want 116 or a top 100 pick? And next year, well, we know that job is already slated to be way better than this draft.
And next year, so we already had 1/3. We traded for a third, and won't we get a third possibly for Javon Holland?
For Javon Holland, I'm glad there you go.
So three third-round picks for next year's draft.
Possibly.
Well,
so now,
least two for sure.
At least minimum. We got two minimum.
Yeah.
Now let that sink in, right? Just let that sink in for a second. And take this walk with me real quick. To all the people, you know, it's going to be on one side. Let's say, get rid of Tyreek. Let's say, get rid of Tua. Let's say, well, Rounds most likely is gone this year, right? There might be a dynamic receiver in this draft. You got the capital to go up and get him. There might be an amazing quarterback in this draft. You have the capital to go get him.
1,000%.
And still have more capital to build this roster. When we talk about every time we criticize him, what is it? He needs to learn how to get ahead of things. Look like he ahead of this one to me. Look like he 2 steps ahead to me. If you're thinking about it, you want to know what's crazy? He also addressed that in his press conference. We was asking why he was handling it. When it comes to specifically quarterback position, he said, you're supposed to be always thinking a year ahead when it comes to that position. That's what he said. So, don't actually speak louder than words. Don't talk about it, be about it. It looked like he's showing a little action to me. Now, let's just throw a little sauce in the game real quick. Do this look like a GM that's on the hot seat to you, Lou?
Now, can I just, before we get into that conversation, I just got a real quick comment right here that I had to highlight. And Tone, if you may, I would like to address it. It's not going to be real long. KP says, how much does Grier pay you guys? And I don't know, KP, as much money as the Sanders family pays you.
Oh.
So as much, whatever that price is, whatever they paid you, that's what Chris Grier is paying me. I don't know what cut Tony got, but I know I'm making the exact same money you do, KP. Now continue, Tone. My fault. Hey, my bad. Oh, hey, Tone, my bad, dog. my bad, Tone. Is that not what we do over here?
Hey, listen, handle your business. Listen, yeah. Hey, listen. There's a reason we got the most vicious chat, because it ain't no slacks up here either. You gotta be ready to handle it. You feel me? If you can dish it out, hey, you better be able to take it in return. Get him. He said, get him. But yes, again, I'll question you. Do this seem like a GM? You know, you was a big component of this, right? You were the first one got out ahead of this one, Lewis. You've been telling Chris Grier comfortable. He ain't going nowhere. So all this hope and this anger directed towards getting him out of here, save your energy. Save it. We've been telling you this for a long time. He's not going anywhere. Just read the writing is on the wall. That man looked real comfortable up there when them picks was coming in smooth. That man was willing, dealing like he ain't had a care in the world. Reality, people. If when y'all come over here, just be prepared for a reality check. Like, no, you're gonna get the real deal. Not the hopes and dreams. No. He looked like he was ready. I mean, not ready. He like he wasn't going nowhere, right? Now, so what I did, okay, I did the draft. Now, what I wanted to break down, right? This well, I wrote it down over here somewhere. So let's get into the other players because we didn't really talk about it, right? So this is for all of the people, right? That was like, oh, I don't like the moves. He could have did this, did that. I asked a specific question. I said, no, just go and ask them, who would you have got then? Since you disapprove of some of these picks, right? Instead of going up to get Jonah Savianea, I think that's how you said it, Savianea, who would you have picked then? Who would you stay at 48 and got? I'll wait. You know, GMs of the world. Since we got the top GMs, you know, the Twitter GMs are the best. Tell me who you would have got and not move up to go get Savianea. Better yet, let's start with pick 13. Who would you have got outside of Kenneth Grant? Because I'm tired of hearing people complain, but we don't got. If you're going to complain about it, then give me a solution then. That's all I'm asking. Give me a solution. Because I was damn happy with those picks. You know, like, so you know what? Let's not just talk. Let's be about it. You know, like last year, when me and Lewis had a problem with Chop Robinson, we said we wanted Brian Thomas Jr. Just before he put on. Bring me Brian Thomas Jr. I'm asking for a friend. So you would have took Tate Ratledge over Savianea. Yeah, KP. Marcus Mimbaugh over Savianea.
Charles Grant.
Charles Grant over Savianea. Nah, bro.
Now, how many people had Charles Grant going 48?
What did he get drafted? What did he get drafted? I know Mimbaugh went like 4th or 5th round.
Yeah. But we were supposed to get him in the 48.
What?
Like what are we talking about here? Now, I listen, Tone. I'm sorry. Right here. Let me get it. Let me bring this back up. Tone, there's nothing me and you can say to this comment right here that's going to be better than this. Maybe you don't like when I do this, Tone, but I got to do it.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I mean, what are we supposed to do? I mean, Tone, what are we supposed to do with this? We're bringing up guys that got picked in the 4th and 5th round, and people are out here saying we should have got them at 48.
Man.
But these are the same people, Tone, that complain about Chris Grier on a daily basis.
Man, listen, man.
Now, hey, Tone, let me ask you this. What do you think the fan base would have did if Charles Grant was the pick at 48? No. That's a real. Anybody in the chat?
It's not a real answer because there's not an answer to that. That's not a real question.
If the pick would have came in at 48, Charles Grant. What? Anybody in the chat? Look, Von Joe said right. Like Like, what are we talking about, Tone? What are we doing, dog?
Oh Lord. Nah, we not doing it. Got you. We gonna leave that.
No, sometimes we gotta react, Tone. Like, what are we?
You taking
What is
Charles
going
Grant
on in here?
at 48. Cool. All right, bro. All right, cool. Man. Woo. So we got Phillips in what we got? Phillips at 143.
Yeah, in the fourth. Yep.
In the fourth, we got Phillips at 143. We move. That was the one we moved from 16. Well, we didn't move from 116. That was the one we moved from let me see. Oh no, we already had. Yeah, that's the one we got for the second round. We got the second round and we got 143. So again, we gave for the one we gave up for 143. I'm gonna remind y'all, it's 135. Now we got Jordan Phillips at 143. So who would you pick that 135 over Jordan Phillips? If y'all want to go back and revisit the draft to see who was there, just go ahead and see the people that was taken and let me know. Just give me an idea who y'all would have took other than that. Or did we not get great value? If I'm not mistaken, didn't Jordan Phillips have a third round grade on him? If I'm not mistaken, I think he had a third round grade on him. And we got him in the fifth. I'm just saying, if we're going to complain, just make it make sense. Just make sure the math is mapped in. That's all I'm asking. Now, I know we got people that they're not going to do anything other than complain because they just don't like Chris Grier. Or, you know what else I want to ask? This is what I wanted to say, too. Before I end this off, because I'm about to, I want to get this out before I finish, right? To all the people that is always complaining and hoping that Christopher Grier fail, because you know what? I'm not even going to leave it to keep it as Christopher Grier. Grier fail, Tua fail, or any player else on this team fail. Do you not know that's rooting against your own team? Now, me and Lou, we going to voice our displeasures. But I always point this out. Y'all always call Lou a flip-flopper. Why? Because he give credit to the quarterback when he do well? Last time I checked, that quarterback still played for the Miami Dolphins. Now, whether you like him or not, you still are supposed to want what's best for this team. Now, granted, what we think is best for this team is to get a better quarterback back there. But while he's on this team, we need him to perform. I've said this countless of times. I would be more happy. Nothing would make me more happy than to come here, than to come on this platform and say, man, that man Tua proved us wrong. I'll be the first one. Now, I would say it, clip it up, repost it so everyone hear it. Because you know what that means? That means the Dolphins were successful with Tua at quarterback. That's what that means, y'all. So for everyone that wants their takes to be right over what's best for this team, are you really a fan? Are you? Or you want to be the one out here say, I told y'all so I was right? Let that part sink in. So for all y'all that's hoping and complaining, because I know what they're doing, right, Lou? I know what they're doing. I heard it in the space earlier. I can't wait to at the middle of the season when these guys are trash and they're not on the field. I can't wait to tell y'all I told y'all so. Bro, you rooting against your own team. Just to say you told me so? So you telling me I told you so it's worth more than seeing your team being successful. All right, cool. I already know everything I need to know about you. But see, people don't look at it from that perspective because egos always get in the way. They want to say, oh, why all of a sudden y'all giving Chris Grier some props? He been messing up every year. Okay, cool. I'm happy to see that he did something that I approve of. These are facts. Because I thought the end goal was for the team to be better. So even if it's the dude in office that I don't think has been a great job, when he's doing something that's good, I'm going to say, that's what I've been wanting you to do the whole time. Because if you've been conducting yourself that way and running this team that way and drafting that way and being disciplined that way and being holding people accountable that way, the whole time, we wouldn't be complaining. We wouldn't be asking for you to get up out of here.
And Tom, what do people say all the time about Chris Grier and the organization? All they've done is coddled Tua, right? That's all. Oh, they've gotten Tua. Everything he's wanted, this, that, and the third. This is why I salute Mr. Paul. This move ain't for the future, or this move is for the future. It's not just for Tua. That is spot on,
Facts.
right? For the same people that say they cater to him all the time, did this draft feel like they catered to him? No. They didn't go and reach for a tight end. They didn't go reach for a wide receiver. They didn't reach for a running back. They got great value for a running back in the later rounds. The fact of the matter is, you can have two things, right? You can be off of Tua, but to the point, you can build for the future. Like Jonas Savanea is not here for Tua. He's here because it was the right pick to make in the second round.
It's facts.
Kenny Grant is not here for Tua. It was the right pick to put next to Zach Seiler and the rest of the crew, including the linebackers with that front seven. It's the right moves, bro, for the future. So, like, again, I just wanted to highlight that, Tone, because what you were talking about, if this draft would have looked totally different and it would have been a weapon for Tua first round, this for Tua in the second round, all this, that's not how they were moving. It's for the future, right? So I just think, to your point, Tone, people, listen, man, everybody's not going to be happy with
You're not going to make everyone happy.
You're not. You're just not. But overall, like, again, bro, after today's show, if people call me a flip-flopper, I guess, on Chris Grier now, too, then that's cool. I'll just have to live with that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, bro, I would criticize him, and I do criticize him when he makes mistakes. But Chris Grier, Tua Tagovailoa, Mike McDaniel, the collective, whoever, if it's the right move for the overall aspect of the team and the logo that I love, I will give credit to things that I deem as correct. And I'm sorry, from a draft perspective, this is the best draft I could remember in years. In years.
Yeah.
From an overall, maybe not the best players, right? But from the overall, what we needed to accomplish coming out of this draft, no, I think it was a home run for me, at least in that perspective. And I will give Chris Grier a good job in that. That's not, he might have failed in 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. But in 25, right, that's the latest what he's done for us lately. No, he did a good job in 2025. I'm sorry.
That's a fact. And the thing about it is it don't matter. I had a one I want to bring up. Oh, Scott Jackson, here you go. Name me another job that you can fail for 10 years and have people stick up for you and keep your job until you get an effing promotion. That's nice, but you can't be talking about us over here. I mean, when you say sticking up for someone, because we criticize everyone. We critique everyone. See, the problem with that kind of statement is it's cool when we tell y'all his flaws, his failures, and his downfalls. It's cool when we saying that. But now when we congratulating him and giving him credit for doing something, for finally doing something right? At least to our standards. Now we're taking up for him. No. We just calling it down the middle like we always been doing. Straight up. Now, let me ask you a question. What team or what professional team do you know that the fans have any bearing on whether they GM get fired or not? He said a lot of people stick up for Grier didn't necessarily mean you got him. All right, cool.
Yeah, no.
But
But again, Tone, when I
go ahead.
just brought up the point that this draft wasn't for Tua, look at again. KP says Savanea doesn't think so, and I hate when we do things like this, right? Not just KP. I'm not shooting at KP. KP knows I fuck with him, but at the end of the day, bro, like if we got if this is the case, and these are the points we're gonna make, like Savanea is a Tua pick, okay, I can live with that, right? I really can. I just want to know how we're going to play the game because the energy then has to be the same for everybody. So then they went and got Derrick Henry in Baltimore last year for Lamar Jackson. And when they drafted that first round offensive lineman for Buffalo last year, they did that for Josh Allen. And when anytime a team makes a player or gets a player through the draft or free agency for the team, from now on, Tone, a person like me is going to say, oh, they did it for their quarterback. And I just want to see if people in our fan base are going to hold the same energy for people that they like the Lamar Jacksons, like the Josh Allens, like again, Joe Burrow, Tone, one of your favorite players, right? Or your favorite quarterback,
Yes.
right? I believe Joe Burrow is great. They went and got him Jamar Chase, did they not?
Yes.
That's what they did for him. Now, I don't see nobody complaining. I don't see nobody say, well, Joe Burrow got – you know why? Because that's what teams do. It just is what it is. Why do we always got to be like,
Lou,
oh,
let me point this part out because he's talking about how he said he's talking about the chat, right? He's talking about how he said it's funny he blocked for all Polynesians his whole career. What is he supposed to say? Who's the quarterback of the team he just got drafted to?
Facts, bro.
Was he supposed to come in and say, yeah, well, I know this ain't for Tua, but I'm going to practice for the next quarterback coming in? Like, can we have some – think about what you say before you say it. Sometimes you got to speak with common sense. What? You know what, Lou? No, I'm not doing it. I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Sometimes you got to ignore some of it's non-common sense. Right?
No. But this is another one. See, this is a Tone. Why do we got to do this? Now, check this out. Our buddy, Kept for Life, Marvin Allen and Champ Kelly did a good job. Okay, cool. Marvin Allen. Now, it's funny. We'll have people in the chat saying that we haven't won a playoff game in 25 years. They put that on Chris Grier. How long has Marvin Allen been here?
Whoa, yeah. But Marvin Allen been here.
Hasn't he been here for 4 years?
Yeah, I don't know when he first got here, but he's been here.
Okay, so he's been here. How many playoff wins have we? Let's call it 4 years that he's been here. How many playoff wins have we had in 4 years, Tom?
0.
So Marvin Allen just what? Did he do a good job in 2025?
That's what it sounds like. Kept for Life saying, Lou.
Okay, cool. And Champ Kelly, that's the guy. I just want to know: is that the guy that came from the Raiders?
I think that's the guy that just got here. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me ask you a question. How great have the Raiders been over there?
Trash.
They've been trash, right? But now all of a sudden you want me to believe he's the one that came over here and did a good job? Bro, like stop. Why is it so hard for people, once you deem you don't like Chris Grier, you don't like Tua Tagovailoa, you don't like Miami, from that point on, dumb guys cannot do nothing good. Like Tua can't have a good game. Chris Grier can't hit on the draft. Nobody can do nothing because people just deem those guys, again, criticize them when they're bad, bro. But if they do good, why is it so hard for people just to give credit? I don't understand it. Like, what are we talking about here?
He came in 2017.
Okay, so he's been here 8 years.
I'm in 2019.
Okay, so 6 years. We haven't had a playoff game in 6 years, and then we got people in here. Oh, he did a good job. Really? Now, Chris Grier, y'all say in the last 6 years he's been trash, but Marvin Allen gets a pass now? Is that what you're telling me? Why? Because y'all like Marvin Allen and y'all don't like Chris Grier? Stop. Y'all sound ridiculous, bro.
Oh, Shake put it sorry. Shake put it already, yeah.
It's a double standard, bro.
It is. Louis, before we let them get final grade, I know we gave our grades up to the 6th round, but Did the last two picks change? Did it rise or drop any your grade for the overall final grade for the Dolphins?
No, absolutely not. I think the Quinn Ewers pick, you got basically, you seen a guy go in the 5th round, and we got the equivalent of that same guy in the 7th round.
Yeah.
That's a great pick in my opinion. You got great value. What's the difference between Quinn Ewers and Shedeur Sanders? I could tell you, one's white and one's black.
Oh shucks. Speaking
That's
of,
it.
I forgot. Hold on, let me go to that real quick. Glad you brought that up. I want to know. I wanted to bring something up here. Let me see. I did.
Now, all I know, Quinn Ewers had his team ranked number 1 overall in the league, correct? In college football, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, that's been 2 years in a row. He's had Texas ranked in the top 4, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
When was Colorado ever ranked in the top 4? In the top 10.
I mean, but I want to bring Colorado or Texas. Texas is a powerhouse. Now we can't. I get what you were saying. It's not a big difference, but
why didn't Shedeur go to one of them powerhouses then?
Now that's the question.
Okay, cool. You know why? Because his daddy wasn't getting the powerhouse job.
Yeah.
And he went where there was less competition. So I'm just going, again, you said the last 2 picks in the 7th round. Again, in my opinion, you got a 5th round talent in the 7th round from the quarterback perspective.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying I like Chris Grier or Quinn Ewers.
Quinn Ewers, we're not fans of Quinn Ewers like that. But
I'm not a fan of him. But I like Quinn Ewers in the 7th more than I like Shedeur Sanders in the 5th. Because it's virtually the same guy.
So it's still
not the strongest of arms, maybe a little bit mobile here and there. Cool. All I'm saying is, bro, to end Tony, you can have the rest of the show if you want it. The fact of the matter is, in my opinion, I think Chris Grier and the Dolphins, from a overall complete draft, I think they had an A. I think they accomplished everything they wanted to get accomplished. Especially if I add on top the UDFAs as well, Tone. I'm sorry, bro. You look at it and it's hard pressed. I would have to do a real deep dive, Tone, into all 32 teams and look at everybody's draft. But it's hard for me to imagine that the Dolphins are not one of the teams that had one of the better drafts this season in 2025.
At least from, like I said, from my standpoint and the type of guy that I want them to address, to target, they addressed every need that I had. Mine's still an A-. Like I said, if I had to change anything, I would have changed. I would have tried to get I would have tried to trade back. I would have. Now, if you don't have no draft partner, cool. I understand that. I'm still going to listen. That's just how it is. It's a grading scale. I still would have preferred that they move down in the draft and get a guard. Because if they would have ended up with Gray Zabel and another top D tackle, and think about this, we could have got Gray Zabel, what his name, Jonah Savayanea, and a D tackle. Now that would have been a knockout of the park for real. If you get those 2 second rounders, because I'm quite sure you get in the second round, you move down from. Now you know what did not make me drop stop me from dropping it from A- to a B is when I seen Gray Zabel going 18. Because now I would admit that I was assuming he was going to go in the 20s. Because remember I said between 24 and 29, he went 18. My boy Gray Zabel went 18.
And remember, Tone, the night we made the draft, we were doing our show the first night. And when it came to find out when I believe it was the first show, you remember I said on the show, the only thing I would have said maybe I would have did different because it was such rich D tackle draft, right? I would have probably went, and this is in hindsight, looking back at it. To your point, if you thought Greg Zabel, let's say, was the best guard available, you could have picked Greg Zabel in the first round and got your DT in the second. I will say that. Remember when I said that?
Yeah, I remember you said that, yeah.
During the show? I'm just saying, again, like, let's say Greg Zabel would have been our first round pick. If you wouldn't have picked Kenneth Grant at 13, and let's say the Dolphins would have traded back from 13 if they could have found a partner, if they could have went back from 13 to 17 or 13 to 18, and then got Greg Zabel and then maybe one of the defensive tackles in the second, that's the only place where you could have said, hey, I get it. I understand the move, this and that, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But still, bro, again, you came out of the draft, first 2 picks with day 1 starters.
Day 1 starters.
Right?
Day 1.
Ollie Gordon can come into this league, everybody believes, and could be a starter on someone's team.
Yes, he would. That's a fact.
6. Right? So
again,
look at the value there. In the 6th round, my fault, right? You got a starter in the league in the 6th round from the running back perspective, right? Jordan Phillips, your 4th round pick. Again, a guy that's going to give you time on the field this season. He's going to make the roster. He's going to be in that rotation, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are people missing? Round 1, starter. Round 2, starter. Round 4, contributor. Round 5, contributor. Right? Like, what are we doing here? People are really complaining. People are really mad. Like, no, bro, I'm sorry. This was an A draft, bro. It was an A. Give Chris Grier, give the collective, give the Miami Dolphins credit. They hit on this draft.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. Hey, Lou, you might get pissed off at this. Passing on Shedeur and picking yours is not cooking. You know what? That could lead me right into the next segment.
Not me. I think that's the best move Chris Grier did.
So I would say this, right? I went and did I was going to do some research because I was like, man, you remember I was like, nah, Lou, they tripping on Shedeur, right? But I always like to look at everything. So I was scrolling through and I came across, and I know this dude always, he keep it real. I came across Marcellus Wiley, and he clickbait me, I ain't gonna lie, because he seemed like he was gonna be on my side with how they was treating, they blackballing Shedeur Sanders. So I was listening. I'm like, okay, maybe he's gonna give me some pointers where I could go do some research and make it for myself. You know what I found out on there? Shedeur Sanders, he was 12 and 13 as a starter in Colorado. What is his the reason that arm strength, right? And the system with his daddy. Am I cool? Yeah, that's right, right? A lot of people didn't like the fact that his whole career he played for his father.
Did you just say he was 12 and 13? Did you
12
just
and 13 at the start at Colorado? Let that sink in, people. 12 and 13 at Colorado, and they said he was coddled by his father. These were at weak arm, saying arm strength was not weak arm, but arm strength was a little bit of a concern. So he was saying, let's see if Shedeur was the only highly touted guy coming out of college, like if you say, that fell this far. I'm about to run off some names. So for you youngers, you might not know some of them. The ones that around my age, you're going to know some of these guys. Colt Brennan. Have you ever heard of Colt Brennan? Remember Colt Brennan, Lewis? Quarterback out of Hawaii? If y'all don't know him, let me explain y'all who he is.
Absolutely.
Colt Brennan broke every NCAA record when he was in college. Every single record he broke out there. You know what? He had off-field concerns. Not negative, like getting in trouble, partying too much. Who that sound like? Don't that sound like Shedeur? And they said he was a system quarterback. Those were his only concerns. He was, if I'm not mistaken, I think he finished 3rd or 4th in the Heisman voting that year. 3rd and 4th in the Heisman voting out of Hawaii. Anybody want to guess where he was drafted? 6th round. He was drafted in the 6th round, people.
They blackballed him.
They blackballed him. Cool. That's not good enough for you? Y'all remember Kellen Moore? Didn't he just get a coaching job?
New head coach with the New Orleans Saints.
Kellen Moore, 50-3 as a college quarterback. That's his record. 2-time Heisman finalist. You want to know what his concerns was coming out of college? Size, arm strength. That's it. Out of Boise State. Remember, he was the first one to put Boise State on the map. He was the first one, got them to get in the bowl games and play them D1 colleges, right? Them top 5, them Power 5 colleges. Y'all know where he was drafted? He won. He went undrafted.
Blackball.
His only concern was size and arm strength. No off the field issues, no nothing. That man went undrafted. He was a 2-time Heisman finalist. 2 years back to back.
Now, Tone, why haven't we heard anybody else that has been on this particular topic talking about blackball this and blackball that?
We're going to get to that
why
at the
didn't
end.
they make that argument for those
We're
players?
going to get to that at the end.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh, okay.
Where my youth fans at? I got any youth fans in here? Y'all going to love this one. Ken Dorsey. Remember him? Y'all know some of the teams that they call the greatest teams of all time? Guess who was the quarterback of them teams? Ken Dorsey. Y'all like the Andre Johnsons in the real? Yeah, I think he only won one game in his college career. 1 or 2 games his whole college career. He went 2 years straight without one loss, and that one loss was against Ohio State in the national championship game. That Ken Dorsey. 2-time national champion. The last year, he was a Heisman finalist. You want to know what his concerns was coming out of college? Arm strength, slow delivery, and the game manager. That was his concerns. I know he was drafted 7th round. That man was the quarterback of still to this day, one of the greatest college teams ever assembled. He was the quarterback. But all I'm saying is he was drafted in the 7th round. Not good enough for you? I got one more for y'all.
Oh, boy, I got a comment, boy.
Chase Daniel. I'm gonna get this one. Chase Daniel. Y'all remember Chase Daniel when he was in Missouri? He was a Heisman finalist. Y'all remember that? His only concerns was he was a system quarterback and they had arm strength issues. Could make every throw. That was his only concerns. He went undrafted. He went undrafted. That's all. That was all his concerns. Yeah, Trey. You see why you said that? He's a career backup. He's not Shedeur. Not when he was in college. He wasn't. Y'all might be too young to watch him when he was in college. Not when he was in college. He wasn't. But all them dropped. Now, if you ever watch Cole Brennan, boy could make every throw. They just say he was a center court and I'll feel concerned. But go ahead, Lou. But I didn't hear none of these quarterbacks was blackballed. Not one of them quarterbacks.
No. And forget about the quarterback position. I think people are sadly mistaken, and I'm sorry that it has to be my brother Crypto that is the one that I believe is sadly mistaken.
I seen that comment. Oh, wait, one more. Wait, before you go, Triple X gave me one. I forgot to mention this because I was going to put it on off the top of my head. Will Howard just won a national championship. He just won a national championship. What did he get drafted? They say some people say he the next Josh Allen. What did he get drafted? Like in the 6th round too?
Yeah, something like that.
To the team I said they about not let him go to Pittsburgh. They're not taking. They about to start listening to me when I talk. Go ahead, Lou. Go ahead. It's all yours. 62 of y'all in here. Please hit that like button. Listen, we only need 3 more to get to 500. Get up to 500, man. We've been putting in work for every one of y'all. Day in, day out. We gave y'all 4 shows in a row, and we back here Monday, and we weren't even that late this time. But 65 now. And make sure y'all hit that like button, man. But just 3 more subs from 500. Y'all please get up to 500.
Yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit, Tone, about this comment right here. A white man can never be blackballed. That's the definition of white privilege. All right, cool. I'm not even going to debate that. I would just argue though, because I've heard it since the draft that the NFL is racist. Again, I'm not even here to debate that. I'm just here to debate Cam Ward. Tony, what color is Cam Ward?
Black.
He went number 1 overall.
Mm-hmm.
So the league is racist, but the number 1 overall pick from a quarterback perspective was racist. They racist. They took a black man. Yeah, they're showing their racism. But let me get to this comment real quick. A white man can never be blackballed. That's the definition of white privilege. Well, is there any definition of black privilege? I just want to ask. Because you know who was a UDFA, Tone? Another Sanders, Shiloh Sanders. He just got picked up by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a UDFA. Now, let me give Crypto the definition of black privilege. You mean to tell me that Deion Sanders couldn't get a better safety to go play at Colorado the last 2 years over Shiloh Sanders? Is that what we're trying to tell me? Looks like Deion Sanders blackballed a lot of safeties, no matter if they were white, black, Hispanic, whoever, for the nepotism of his son. Because I guarantee you, there was a white safety last year that was playing in college, or 2 years ago when he first got to Colorado, that could have hit the transfer portal, and Cooper DeJean. Does anyone believe that Cooper DeJean is a better safety than Shiloh Sanders when he was at Iowa? So I guess white privilege didn't matter then, though, right? Because if it really was white privilege, Cooper DeJean would have been at Colorado. But since Daddy Deion wanted to give black privilege to his son got to keep playing in Colorado. Now, it's crazy to me when we have these tough conversations, because I'm not going to lie. These are really tough and sensitive conversations.
Not for me.
You're right, Crypto. It is nepotism. In the same breath, though, I can say that's black privilege. Forget about black and white. It could be Hispanic. It could be Asian. It could be anything. There was other safeties that was better than his son, which is a black man. Shiloh is black. Deion Sanders did not go to get no Asian, Hispanic, or white for the black privilege that he gave his son. I didn't see nobody say black privilege. Everybody was praising him. I ain't trying to hear this, bro. Stop. The fact of the matter is he wasn't good enough. And y'all's feelings, because again, you wanted him to be something that he's not. Stop with the blackball. Stop with the racism. He wasn't good enough. That is the fact.
I seen somebody say I was naming quarterbacks or with stacked rosters. Did y'all see Colt Brennan roster? Did y'all see Kellen Moore roster? Could you go to them teams to tell me if those rosters were stacked? Matter of fact, go to those teams to tell me if you remember anyone on those teams. I'm just saying. If you want to do that, that one stacked.
There you go, Triple S. Triple S is a big college guy. He says, Lewis, you don't even need to go to Cooper DeJean. They had a white safety on the roster named Trevor Woods, who was making plays but was behind Shiloh. Why is that? We're black privilege? Now, I'm just asking. Again, I'm asking. Forget about nepotism. We already know that nepotism happened. But if there's a guy sitting behind a guy, and the guy that's sitting behind him is better than the guy that's playing, right? And one guy, according to this, is white, and the other one is black, and the black one that is not better, according to this, than the white one, is it black favoritism? Is it black privilege? I'm asking. So again, miss me with these topics, bro. Hold everybody to the same energy. Don't be no hypocrite out here.
Good.
I don't know what you mean. Again, I don't know what you mean by that, G. I'm not dancing for no man. So you got the wrong one. Dance for the man. Y'all bigger than this. What do you mean?
Oh,
Y'all the ones that make this about race and blackball.
Yeah,
I've
Lewis,
always been.
you can leave that part alone because they ain't gonna do nothing. But
Yeah, that's
you can skip
ridiculous.
them.
Man,
He said best was a UDFA. From Hawaii, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, for Hawaii, UDFA. So Devon Best, and you just pointed out he was a UDFA. Cole Brennan made him who he is, right? Cool. Shedeur had the #1 recruit in the nation. Nation. Not Devon Best. Yeah.
hey, Tone, when Travis Hunter and Shedeur went into the HBCU at Jackson State, were they not the two best players over there?
Yes.
Did they ever win a championship over there?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
They made it there, and I'm not, and I'm not even.
No. The Dolphins. See, Tone, respectfully, I can't let you do that. And it's not to you; it's for everybody else. When you said they made it there, I don't care where they. Guess what? The Dolphins made the playoffs. Did they win it?
No. I'm talking about they made it there. I proved you that they were better than everyone else, but they couldn't get the job done.
Bro, the fact of the matter is, again, these people are showing their true colors. And I'm sorry I got to pull it, but it's the truth, Tone.
Yeah, I say it don't matter. I mean, you get spit for the way that they was complaining about it and the way that they was pointing it out. It was like, because I was on that side too. I'm like, nah, this ain't right, bro. We even dedicated a whole show like, nah, this is gonna be a watch. You get what I'm saying? I should do a watch. But then I was like, God, dog, hold on. You know what? That always hit me by surprise when I go do research and I go see, and I'll be on one side, and then I get one person. I was like, I know he gonna tell the truth, and he completely. I was blindsided. I was like, oh, he came from a whole different perspective that made me step back and say, you know what? At some point, we just gotta understand. It happens sometimes. Now, should he have dropped as low as you should? I think a lot of people forget. Lewis was telling you he was trash from day one. There was people out there saying that he wasn't that good. Now you have people that think that they were good. That you do. But the one thing that got me is when people say this never happened before. Yes, it has. We just don't point it. We just don't pay attention or put that much emphasis on it. And one thing about it, y'all gotta make this one thing clear. One thing clear. If his name wasn't Shedeur Sanders, would we make it such a big deal? If he was Joe Blow from around the way and he had the career that Shedeur Sanders had, will we be making this a big emphasis? Will we be making this a big commotion about this? We wouldn't. We got to be 100% real. We wouldn't be making so much commotion about him going this far if Dion wasn't his father. Let's just keep it 100.
Tone, you ain't got to tell him that because what you killed him with was with the Will Howard. Will Howard just led a team to an undefeated national championship run. Now, not one person, including Crypto, KP, or this other Jamaican from Zion who says I'm out here cooning, by the way. I don't even know what the hell that means. But I haven't heard not one of those three gentlemen say that the league blackballed Will Howard. Why is that? Will Howard had great stats. Will Howard was a winner. His team played well and won the national championship. He played well in the college
they lost
playoffs.
to Michigan, didn't they? Didn't they lose to Michigan? Don't you about to what?
Well, again, okay, they had one loss. They had one loss. That's fine. They won the national championship, right?
Yes, sir.
I believe in that championship game. He was 12 out of his first 12 passes throwing in the national championship game. If I'm not correct, right?
You're a gamer. You know, I like winners. You're a gamer.
Why didn't the league blackball him? Why hasn't Crypto brought up the blackball narrative with him when he went in the 5th or 6th round? Why ain't KP saying it?
Triple S said first 13, he think. goodness. But I wanted to point that out. I didn't want listen. Look, I didn't want to bring that out so you can let them. They're gonna say what they want to say. It's not really a big deal. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. What I like to do is I just like to bring forth some facts and do some research on it before I just blindly go out there and say, man, this never happened. It's only happened to him. No one ever failed before. So I'm like, okay, cool. But honestly, Lewis, one thing you got to learn, you could say whatever you want. You are not changing people's mind. Now, people like me that are objective, I was swayed to be like, okay, maybe, you know what I'm saying? It's not as deep as we thought it was. There's still something to it. I still feel like it's something to it because they didn't like the attitude and the arrogance, and I get it. But like I always pointed out, if the talent is there, someone is going to grab you, bro. You have to become undeniable. And they're going to grab you regardless. They're going to draft you. But if you could sit here and tell me that he was undeniably worth a first round or whatever it is, then cool. That's your decision. But me, before the draft, before all that, I always said, I hope he don't go to 13 because I'd rather be wrong about him on another team than for us to draft him over here. So that's the only thing that I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to convince no one to switch their opinion or shred them either way because y'all have the right to your own opinions. What I would say is when I did my homework, I said, oh man, that's kind of crazy. And I wasn't I wasn't a big fan of it like that. I know one thing, who helped point Will Howard out. Y'all better hope he don't ball out at Pittsburgh. That's the one place I didn't want him to end up is Pittsburgh because all he got to do is basically do what he did at Ohio State. Don't make too many mistakes. Make key and clutch plays when you have to. Yeah, Tony, the biggest issue was his early and last name. It rubbed folks the wrong way. It happens, bro. It happens. A lot of people say it ain't fair, and that's where most people make their mistakes in life, is they think life is supposed to be fair. No matter how many times you hoop and holler, it ain't gonna change what happened. It's not gonna change the way them people think. It's not gonna change how they run their companies. Now, for all the people that's out here hooping, hollering, huffing, puffing, you know what? How about y'all band together, get people together, start your own league. Don't depend on no other people league. Then you control how you conduct your business. You control how you look at everything. That's all I'm saying. Lightening up 2-1 at the half. Thank you for the update, Bramo. That's all I'm saying. If we're going to do something about it, that's how you handle that. Coming to huffing and puffing ain't going to change none of that.
And the fact is, right, to Von Joe's point, and he does have one, right? Says Tony, those guys were projected by the experts to be drafted versus where they were supposed to be drafted or where they went, right? And Von Joe does have a point. The problem is if we're going to go by that metric, then those guys are never wrong with the ones that do those projections. They also had Ryan Leaf to be the number 1 overall quarterback over Peyton Manning.
Over Peyton Manning, yeah.
That's what those experts said. Those experts said, the same experts Von Joe's talking about, right? They had Ryan Leaf projected to be the number 1. How did that work out? All we're trying to say is it could be wrong, bro. People's evaluations could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't come out here and say, oh, well, where they were projected. Who cares where they were projected? None of those guys, Mel Kipers, Louis Riddicks, any of those analysts, they can say what they want. They also say Tua Tagovailoa is a top 5 quarterback in the league. You believe them?
Mm.
So I hate when those conversations come up when people say, well, what the experts say. Y'all disagree with experts all the time until it fits y'all's narrative. And then now y'all want to agree with the experts. I'm just trying to figure out, what are we talking about?
Yeah. Let me go back. I was trying to look it up. I'm gonna look it up, but I know he was the talk of the whole draft his year, and he was. I just looked at the NFL. He was the 5th quarterback in that draft. That's what he was ranked, the 5th quarterback in that draft. So, and coming in this draft, Shedeur was what, the 3rd quarterback, 2nd to some people, 3rd quarterback. So they weren't too far off with where they was ranked.
Again,
but listen,
to Bonjo's point though, Tone, right here. No, they can be wrong, Lewis. That's not the point I'm making. But it played a part in the whole of his sliding and blackball. I don't feel like he was blackballed, is what I'm saying. Because
yeah,
with
but
me and Tony, no, again, that's his opinion. And others,
yeah,
I'm saying, Tone, that's their opinion. I get it. Why are they trying to change my opinion? Again, while you're talking to me, don't try to feed me the narrative of blackballing. Because Tony just gave you names of people that got blackballed. And we've never heard that conversation before. Will Howard just played in the national championship game. He fell to the what, 5th, 6th round? Was he blackballed? I haven't heard not one person, Tone, say nothing about blackballed with Will Howard. Why? Because they don't feel like he was blackballed. And why is that? We're talking about Shedeur's stats and numbers and what he did in college. Well, then I can show you a bunch of guys that put up stats and numbers and did a lot in college. Were they all blackballed? Because if that's the case, Tone, I can agree to everybody. Then a lot of quarterbacks this season, including Shedeur, were blackballed. But if that's not the case for everybody, miss me with Shedeur getting blackballed.
I don't really and I mean, another point I was gonna point out, because Dylan Graber went above him too, but he was in the Heisman. He was in the Heisman talks when he was over there Oregon killing the thing over there. A lot of people.
Gabriel, didn't he have Oregon as the #1 overall team in the nation all season long?
Yeah, well, not all season long, but yeah.
Okay, well, was he blackballed to fall all the way to the 3rd? Was he blackballed?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
But it is what it is. It's a big name. These type of things come with being a big name. What I do want to point out though, is a lot of people ignore the fact, right? Because they move with their emotions. If you got people coming in, and if you contribute, you know how we say when we blame Tua, right? We say, okay, if you lose, sometimes just don't contribute to the loss. Don't be in them games throwing in interceptions and fumbling or catching concussions and be part of the reason that we lost. How about some of these games? If we lose, you balled out and your team just wasn't good enough, lose that way. Like I would say, like he did at Buffalo and he did at Arizona. If you perform like that for the most part, then people will give you a credit. Now, but if you do contribute to the loss or whatever it is, then you can't be without blame. That's all I'm saying. So I told people this. Listen, if you got somebody in there, this is my last part. I'm gonna let it on. People forget when Deion Sanders was telling them people, oh, he gonna tell people no. People forget when Deion said to say, yeah, we not going to certain places. Who do y'all think he was talking to? The team that was thinking about drafting him. And he didn't want his son playing for them teams.
Hey, Tone, you remember a couple of weeks before the draft, maybe even a couple of months before the draft, we started seeing all them workouts between Shedeur and Cam Ward.
And Cam Ward was making him look like, no.
You remember a specific conversation? They were standing somewhere, they were doing throwing drills or whatever, and Shedeur Sanders looked at Cam Ward and said, hey, why don't we go make a music video or something like that? And Cam Ward looked him right in the face and told him, I play football.
You don't got no hobbies outside of that?
Shedeur, there you go. He said, so you don't have no hobbies outside of football? Cam Ward told him, when you look up Cam Ward's name in Wikipedia, it says American football player.
Yeah.
That's what his response was. Now, why ain't people bringing that up in the chat? Is that a red flag? Do you think now? Let me ask you this, Tone. If you're a general manager, and I'm going to ask you this, Tone, and then we can get up out of here. But you are a black man, Tony. Everybody can see you are a black man.
Yeah, I think so.
If you are an NFL general manager, Tone, and you watch that clip, and you have one person telling another person, "Hey, you want to go make a music video?" and the other person says, "Nah, I want to play quarterback. I'm a quarterback." Who are you drafting, Tone?
The one that said, I want to be a football player.
Okay, all right. I rest my case. See, y'all are so caught up in the name and what he. No, bro. He's not good at playing football. It is what it is. And I'm sorry if it hurts people's feelings and stuff. But again, if Shedeur Sanders was named Shedeur Thompson, you wouldn't hear not one black ball. If it was Shedeur Williams, if it was Shedeur Amador, if it was Shedeur anything other than Sanders, no one would say blackball anything. But the fact that it's Shedeur Sanders, now it's blackball, now it's racism, now it's stop.
Hey,
I'm retarded.
I listen. Like I said, well, all y'all know, me and Lewis was on opposite sides. The only reason when I came in to pick certain things, I'm like, well, going to homework. There's other people who've been did like this, and it don't change the fact that his father has something to do with that. No one should dispute that. All I'm saying is, he should have been undeniable, because a lot of people had a problem with the LeVar Ball and the way he was propping his children up. But them young men were undeniable. Them young men had skills. You had to draft them no matter what, because their skill set was worth what comes with it with their father. So all I'm saying is, he should have been like that, and he would have been drafted. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You can't control one thing about it. You can't control what you don't own. So they didn't own it. They had to deal with that. I'll see. You know what I'm saying? Listen. No, I didn't want to end it off. I just wanted to point that out just so people could do their own research, not to have a whole big back and forth debate. I like people to go do their research on their own and come to their own conclusion, because yeah, you know, say not Lonzo, the matter with the truth. Hey, the NBA scouts.
Who?
All I'm saying is, listen, man. I seen somebody say, I see somebody say they hate these conversations, and don't bring them up. Don't bring them up. If you don't want, you always have to be willing to have someone push back on your takes. And if we have a difference of opinion, so be it. Be able to talk about it and stand on what you believe in. Because as long as you be true to yourself, then it shouldn't matter what no one else's opinion is about you. And I would leave y'all with that. I don't want to, you know, over here, we don't run from any conversations. When it comes to the Dolphins, when it comes to the draft, when it comes to race, whatever it is, we could talk about it. Now, you know, y'all know how Lewis is. He get passionate about it. Me personally, I'll just give my opinion about it and let y'all do with what y'all will with it. You know, I just want people to be educated and then go do their homework, because even if you do feel a certain way, then you can present your argument in a better manner to where you have facts behind it and not just emotions and feelings. So that's all I was saying. Because when you out there just yelling and saying it's because of this, it's because of that, you gotta tell me why. But listen, shout out to y'all.
No, I don't get passionate, Tone. I hate talking to damn fools.
Shout out to y'all, man. You know, listen. Thank y'all for rocking with us. I see y'all like controversy. Y'all, it was about 60 y'all in the whole time when we was in here going through this madness, right? Let me see if y'all hit that subscribe button though, and got the boy to the 500. Let me go out there, man. Listen, we 3 away from the 500. If it's 49 of y'all still in here, hey, we just need 3 of y'all. Just need 3 of y'all to hit that subscribe button, get us to that 500, and we would appreciate that. For sure. Oh, we had a poll.
Hey, Tone.
Yeah.
Now you said I get emotional, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, right here, right? I would get emotional in this comment right here. I would get emotional, Tone, but again, I don't even know who the hell this is. So when listen, it was a good try to get me emotional, whoever you are. But again, I only get emotional with people I know.
Okay, the poll. We did have a poll in there. It's a favorite pick of the draft: Kenneth Grant, Jonah Savayanea, Ollie Gordon, or other. We had 75 votes. 75 of y'all voted on that. Shout out to y'all, man. 75 of y'all couldn't get us 3 subscribers, 3 subscriptions. Come on, man. I know y'all rock with us better than that. Listen, Kenny Grant won with 44. Well, now it's 43%. We got 76 voters. Jonas Savayanea, he's second with 30%. Ollie Gordon. The fact that Ollie Gordon is only at 14%, I'm kind of man, I'm disappointed in y'all. And then other, and they say comment in the chat is 12%. Okay, so hey, listen, look like y'all like the Kenny Grant pick, 43%. Jonah and Savayanea is accounted for 73% of the votes. Goodness. I unsubscribe and then subscribe again. I unsubscribe. You meant to say that count. Shake Money, I appreciate your effort, man. Appreciate your support, but unfortunately, sir, it don't count. Oh man. But listen, man, while we still got 53 of y'all in the building, listen, we just need 3 more subscriptions. Go ahead and subscribe. Get us to the 500. We will be giving away a jersey of your choice and also a draft day hat. Yeah, so 2 people will be getting a prize once we get to that 500. And shout out to y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. We already an hour and 37 minutes in. Somebody said, are we over already? Yes. We run on. We over an hour and a half. Lou, anything before we get up out of here?
Hey, appreciate y'all, man, for sliding through. And we'll see y'all. What's today? Monday? So Wednesday.
Yeah.
A little bit after 7:30, man. You know what it is.
Wednesday, 7:30 is Fred. If you want a jersey, then go get 3 more people to subscribe. Yeah, King Mill, shout out to you, man.
I'm gonna get Fred a Tua jersey.
Hey, facts. He said second worst draft in the league. CCR. Listen, if y'all didn't like the draft, yay, more power to you. I appreciate y'all for rocking with us. There's still 53 of y'all in the building. We'll see y'all on Wednesday, 7:30 is. Until then, we are out. Peace.
Deuces.